behind every strong community is someone willing to build. Hello and welcome to Thriving at Altitude. I'm your host, Dave Donahue. Join me high in the Rockies as we explore conversations with entrepreneurs, community leaders, and local business owners who are building, growing, and thriving right here at altitude. Welcome to Thriving at Altitude. Today we have Anna Lou from Dreambug Designs. Awesome. Well, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Nice to have you. I've got some questions here for you. If you want to pick a color, we'll get started. Yeah, and then I'll just point to one you think is
I'm going to pick the orange one
All
since
right.
it's the only one.
Yes, you got it. All right. Regarding breathing new life into forgotten clothing, when you're discovering fabrics, what makes you instantly know, yep, this one is a Dreambug design potential?
So I get most of my base garments through Poshmark and Depop. Sometimes people do hand-me-down things and gift things. Occasionally I get to thrift stores, but, we're also busy. Thrifting is hard, and it's also limited here in the Valley. We don't have a ton of thrift stores like we would in a city. So I have found Poshmark and Depop to be kind of my best resources for those. And, when I first started doing this, at least with the jackets, because I originally started with shorts and then it evolved into jackets, I had the idea to have the fringe. You'll see a lot of my pieces have fringe coming off of them.
Yes.
So I first started with only doing women's and mostly cropped so that the fringe kind of hung the way I liked it to. And I think I just have my own personal eye for what stands out to me when I'm looking around for different pieces.
Something that speaks to you, something you kind of know would be good, or do you grab it and it looks cool first and then later you kind of figure it out, or both?
I think it's a combination of both.
Okay.
I usually get the piece, and sometimes I have an idea immediately with what I want to do with it, and sometimes it sits, or I have kind of like an area by where I work at home, and I'll just hang jackets that I want to work on and kind of see what comes to me.
Cool.
As far as coming up with ideas.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's really fun.
Before Dreambug Designs existed, what first brought you to the Vail Valley?
Well, I'm from New Jersey, and I moved to Colorado in 2008 to the Front Range. Kind of had an opportunity to either go to New York or come to Colorado, and I chose Colorado and really haven't looked back. Super happy that I made that decision. Really fell in love very quickly with the lifestyle out here.
Yeah.
But within about a year or less than a year even, I realized kind of wanted to be more in the mountains. I was in Golden, and then I was actually in Niwot, right outside of Boulder.
Yeah.
And my friend and I decided to make the move up here, and we landed in Avon. She had a friend that lived here, and we also had friends in Leadville, so we were kind of between the two, but there were more just opportunities for work and for skiing and playing here in Eagle County.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
What was the moment where your creativity shifted to realizing Dreambug could become your purpose?
Okay, that's a big question.
Yeah.
So Dreambug started very just as someone asked me if I could add fabric to a pair of shorts. They had an idea, and I said, I think I can do that. I don't really have much of a sewing background, but I've used a machine before, and I think I can figure it out. And they were really cute. We just added some fabric to the shorts, had the pockets hanging out, and put fabric on top of the pockets. I swear it probably took me hours to get it done. Yeah. Whereas now I can zip through them pretty quickly. But I just decided to do a few more pairs of shorts, and then people kind of liked them, and people wanted to buy them, and just kind of became a side hobby, something to do while I was watching TV. And that kind of went on, sporadically over a small couple of years, a short period of time. And then I had the idea for my first jacket, which was actually a vest that I had and a pair of jeans that I'd cut into shorts, and I took the cut legs, and sewed them onto the vest to make sleeves.
Oh, wow. Arm sleeves.
Discovered the legs made really
Oh,
great sleeves
cool.
for your arms. Yeah. And so that was kind of where the jacket started. And I brought that one with me somewhere, and someone bought it immediately.
Cool.
And so, yeah, it just kind of evolved from there. But it really didn't become something I leaned into in a more of a full-time dream
Yeah.
until really, I would say 2024. And then really even just this last year, it's something I'm just really finally starting to take very seriously.
Cool. And you obviously wear some of them for you.
I do. Some I can't let go, like this
Yeah.
one.
Cool.
My dad actually passed away in 2023, and I took all of his denim and started working with his denim, like all of his jeans, basically. So this just had a lot of his denim on it, and so I decided to keep it.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then did you have a few that when you first started doing them, that you were just going to wear for you and then someone saw you in one? Or because you're kind of walking advertising, so it's like...
No, I think I kept one that I
Okay.
still have from like my first batch of jackets. So I started, the first time I ever tried selling was in 2024. When I really tried to sell the jackets, I should say,
Yeah.
was in 2024. I'd like putzed around and tried to sell shorts here and there. But music has been a huge inspiration for Dreambug.
Yeah.
And Fish had just announced that they were going to the Sphere in 2024. And I was coming out of a really challenging period of my life. And I had been jobless for a little while by no fault of my own, but just by like unforeseen circumstances in my life. And so I'd been sewing as something to do. I was living up in Leadville, actually. I'd been in a car accident. I didn't have a car for a couple months. And so I was just kind of like up in Leadville and decided to go to the Sphere, and had heard about something called fan art, which is like an organized event put on by someone, this guy, Pete Mason, and he brings vendors together, crafters and artists together to be able to sell for this fish-inspired goods. And I decided to just go for it. I had like all these shorts and about 10 jackets, and headed off to Vegas with, my Tupperware full of things, and my jackets sold out within an hour. And so I think that was the push I really needed. My shorts were almost sold out by the end of the event. And
Amazing.
fun.
And Fish was kind of at least one of the inaugural runs of Sphere originally.
I think, yeah.
If not the first
Was it the
act.
first?
It was close. I mean,
I think it was U2 was the first one.
U2 was the first one.
Yeah.
And then Fish. And they have like,
maybe, the
daytime,
Eagles.
like movies and things like that. But
Yeah.
to really get like a community, a scene at fan art and the Sphere, that was like pretty new for that area. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
that part of Vegas like hadn't seen anything like that. So
Yeah.
I feel like
and he does them at the Brooklyn Bowl
Yeah.
over there.
cool.
He just did 3 this past run while Fish was out there.
Oh,
So,
cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool event. But he does them all over the country.
All right. I see your work carrying themes of freedom, healing, and rebellion, and music, and sustainability, and self-expression. What do you hope people will feel when they wear a Dreambug piece out into the world?
Joy, I think clothing, it's such an amazing, it's kind of like our first layer in a lot of ways that we start our day with, of being able to have some self-expression for ourselves. If you put on the right outfit, it builds just like an extra layer of confidence. You want to look good, you want to feel good. Something that's cool about Dreambug is everything is one of a kind. So you're never
Right,
gonna
of course.
walk into the party and see someone wearing the same thing as you when you have a Dreambug piece on. And I have replicated a couple things, but I've never done anything exactly the same. So they all stand out as their own piece, individual, unique piece.
The unique handmade love that goes into it.
There's definitely a lot of
Is a
handmade
big
love. I
part,
mean, I do
yeah.
everything myself and by hand. I love doing it so much, and I just love when someone puts it on and they just fall in love with it. And yeah, this is the joy that
Cool.
it brings people.
Yeah.
It's definitely my goal.
Awesome. What draws you to the pre-loved and reclaimed materials instead of starting from scratch with new materials?
I think it just makes sense to me. In this day and age, the more sustainability we can put into practice, and I'm not the best person at being super environmentally conscious all the time. So this feels like a way that I can contribute to that.
Mm-hmm.
I know, the fast fashion industry is very harmful.
It's quite
to
the
the
opposite of what
environment.
you're doing, right?
Yeah. So, to embrace this idea of slow fashion, to find garments that people no longer want, we all have them sitting in our homes, things that maybe we loved at one time, things maybe we just have and never wore, but things that are just sitting there. And to just kind of breathe a new life into them, to give them a new spirit, a new design. Like really, I do take things and really transform them into something completely different in a lot of ways. I was working on a tie-dye jacket yesterday that I didn't personally love, but I had found it and I dreambugged it, and I'm just obsessed with how it came out. And I'm it's like a completely different jacket now than what it was when I started with it.
Cool. You dreambugged it.
Yes.
That's a cool new verb. I love that.
We dream bug.
I can see that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Fish culture clearly seems woven into the spirit of Dreambug. How many shows have you seen?
Oh, God.
And is there one particular run of shows that changed your perspective creatively or inspired you more?
Yes, fish has been a big part of my life since I was in high school in the 90s.
Me too.
And I would say in general, music has played for so many of us, especially in this community in Colorado. Music is just such a big part of our culture here.
Yeah.
It's a commonality. I think the majority of people that live in this state in particular just really love, and throughout the whole world, of course. But for myself, I think I got introduced at a pretty young age. I was a freshman in high school, and my mom was out of town, and someone took me to a Grateful Dead concert. And I'd heard of the Grateful Dead. I had no idea what they were. I didn't want to go. It was like dancing skeletons. It sounded scary. My friends were like, oh, no, you're coming. And it was definitely, I would say, kind of a life-changing experience for me. It just opened up this whole world I had never been exposed to and never seen. And then within about a year after that, I got introduced to Fish. And then a year after that, went to the first Fish shows were my 94, 95, the New Year's run. So in answering the one question about what has stood out to me,
run?
That might have been, it was just so much fun. We were in high school. It was back when you had to drive each night to a different state, basically, to get to the next show. And it was just so fun. And they have just kind of stuck with me. They've provided a lot of inspiration. They've provided community. I think music in general has done that. But Fish in particular has been a big inspiration, and the Grateful Dead with Dreambug.
Cool.
And people seem to want to wear the music inspired jackets.
Yeah.
So it's working. It's sticking.
Would you say you're close to triple digits in terms of total shows, Fish shows?
Oh, I never knew to keep count when I was younger. So I've never tried to go back and count. So I really have no idea.
Someday we'll go
possible.
I know Dead Base, has every Dead show.
Yeah.
There's a Fish Base too, I believe.
I just
I know.
It's never been that important to me personally.
You've seen a bunch of good shows.
I've been fortunate to see a lot of really great shows.
What's the farthest away or international or something really exotic place, or maybe a private, smaller place you've seen them, or anything in that category?
I've done Fish Mexico, which was really fun.
Cool.
Yeah, not as of recent years, but when they first started doing it.
Cool.
Yeah, the first couple.
I definitely remember when I got Lawn Boy on one side, Hunt on the other side, the sort of bootleg tape, original tape, also in high school. And then I got to see him a lot early as well. I got to go up to Vermont and see him.
Nice.
And I got to go to Capitol Theater and see him in the home turf
Awesome.
right there in the tri-state area.
Yeah.
And it blew my mind as well. Maybe my best experience, though, was when I was a freshman in college at University of Arizona. I ended up finishing in Oregon, but they came to the student union and they needed like help loading in, and we got to meet them. They were all sunburned from doing like a river rafting trip, and dogs were running around and we're setting up everything. And they did a cover of Smells Like Teen Spirit that night.
Oh my God, that's so fun.
You can hear my voice in the background yelling, "Smells Like Teen Spirit," and then they actually like started covering it.
Wow, that's a great story.
It was because they did it during the sound check, just because like they're doing a sound check and I heard it come on, and so later I had to yell it in the crowd. And he did like 10 seconds of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
They are fun.
With a PH.
With a PH, of course.
Yeah. And you mentioned some of this already, but your recent 3-week Vegas journey at the Sphere sounded like equal parts magic and intense. The question is, looking back now at that experience, what did you learn about yourself as an artist and an entrepreneur?
Oh my gosh. I learned so much in those 3 weeks. That was, like I said, I mean, I really just started taking this seriously in 2024. So we're right around the 2-year mark. Mm-hmm. I launched my website this past November in 2025. I got my LLC just this past January. So the push to start taking this more seriously really just kicked in, I would say, within less than a year. And
cool.
I had a series of events in my life. It almost feels like the universe has really just pushed me in this direction where every time since about 2022 that I started a new job, within 6 weeks that job was gone. By like no fault of my own, like just crazy unforeseen circumstances happening in my life. And
wasn't meant to happen.
When my dad got sick this past summer, I had just started a new job, and then within a month was back in New Jersey and was there for 6 months with my family. So that job kind of went away. And in that period of time, I kind of decided, like, I just feel like this is the 4th time now that this has happened, and it's time to just lean into Dreambug. Like, I was like, I just feel like something's telling me something. So,
cool.
So thank you again for bringing me onto this podcast, because it does feel serendipitous and like in line with the direction of everything that has been happening with my little business.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Shoot, now I forget the question.
No, that's right. What else did we learn in Vegas?
Back to learning.
As an artist and and an
Dreambug
entrepreneur.
has been just a constant learning experience. But in trying to do this, or in succeeding in doing it, just having the idea first, when Fish announced that they were going to the Sphere, and then when the people, they are the same organizers that ran the shakedown when Dead & Company went.
Right.
Which was like wildly successful for the vendors.
Right.
And huge. So when they announced that they were going to be doing a shakedown, I was kind of like, that would be really cool. And then, the Fish's residency lined up with the off season. So it's kind of like our off season.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like perfect timing.
Yeah.
And it was like, can I do this? Like, do I have the capacity to make enough inventory for 9 days of vending? Because it was 3 days over 3 weekends, so 9 days total. And then just all the other planning and organizing. And I'm a one-woman show. It's just me. So, it
and
was
disco.
And disco, of course. And disco. The MVP. But, it took an immense amount of planning, of creatively pushing myself, making sure I had enough inventory, like financially planning to be able to buy the jackets and the fabrics and the materials that I would need in order to make this happen, to be able to stay out there, to pull a trailer back and forth. It's just and then I work like we all do, multiple jobs in the Valley, or so many of us do. And so it really was like any moment of free time that I had, like I was sewing. Like, I feel like I'm really sad that there was no snow this winter, but for me it kind of worked out because I was giving all of my free time to Dreambug. So like, I feel like I didn't see people. I kind of was just a hermit at home. But I'm really happy to say all the hard work and dedication really paid off. It was wildly successful and fun.
Yeah.
An epic adventure all around. But yeah, vending is really hard work. It's physically a ton of work. You know, we would set up on Wednesdays and then you vend Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then you break down on Sunday.
Right. Would you stay in Vegas the whole time?
I stayed in Vegas the whole time.
Right.
I brought my sewing machine.
Yep.
I brought blanks. I brought fabrics. I had everything like set up in the room. I stayed at the Tuscany. Which is great. And that's where the events were.
Oh, perfect.
Great hotel.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. Super chill.
Yeah.
Off the strip. Dog friendly, which
Very
obviously
nice.
was great.
Yeah.
And, you know, the organizers of Shakedown booked music like Wednesday through Sunday. So there was just always stuff going on. So it was really fun.
Right.
But, you know, the first weekend, so we set up on Wednesday, which my first day setting up because I've literally never done an outdoor setup like this. So we were told I applied for a 10 by 10 space, but it really was 10 by 20. So I managed to procure a second tent and just did a lengthwise 10 by 20. By the time I got fully set up, I mean, it took me 8 hours to set up that first day. And so that was Wednesday. The next day, the Shakedown opened.
Yep.
Great day. Did go to the fish show that night. And then at about 1 a.m, we got a call saying we had to get back to the Tuscany because there were 50-mile-an-hour winds, and it just took down the whole thing. So
I'm glad you don't have ceramics or glassware something like that
so
category. Because I was thinking of you. I did see the post the socials when you posted that,
insane.
and it looked wild. And I'm glad at least like if things fall over, they might get a little dusty, but your items are windproof in the long run. Finding a little
bit of that dust on sleeves here and there,
right?
But everything survived, minus a tent of mine personally, but
like racks and tents and
but I mean
things like that.
People lost so much. I mean, it was crazy. The organizers also really stepped up, and they did go out and purchase new tents for those of us that lost tents. So that was huge.
Right.
But then had to rebuild the whole next day,
right.
which again took me from 9 a.m. to maybe 4 p.m.
Oh my gosh.
So that in itself was a huge learning experience. And also just learned about, not that I had the right weighting system, but to make even a stronger weighting system and and just to get faster and more efficient with all the things. And then having to do it each weekend, you just keep getting better. It's just a constant learning experience.
Nice work.
Thank you.
I wasn't there, but I saw on YouTube there was some fans that were going around Shakedown. Shakedown, by the way, is in case the audience doesn't know, is just like a bunch of booths and food and art and people with their crafts and wares that set up outside a concert. Yeah, and that's very loose definition. It can be just like a few people selling things on the ground on a blanket, or it can be a nice organized setup
this
like yours.
This was pretty organized, yeah.
But I saw someone was really walking around during, I forget which band was playing or which music was playing, but was walking around, and the first thing I saw was disco.
Oh, stop it.
Yes, so they went by with their camera, and I saw disco chilling.
Oh, I haven't heard this story.
And you were in the back of your 20-foot somewhere back there doing something, and I got to see kind of the format. And I love it because it seemed like you had a pretty good spot. And
the spots changed each weekend.
Ah, that's fair, right?
Yes. I don't think the vendors necessarily, I didn't love it. Because, the first weekend you make friends with everyone around you. And you just get comfortable.
Your brand is in a geographic location. And then
right. And then you got to tell everyone the next weekend, oh, okay, now we're here.
You got to come look for me, right?
I understand why they chose to do it so that everyone had chances to be in different places.
That makes sense. Yeah. I could see either way being good or bad.
I don't think there was really a bad spot. It was,
It seemed, and they were able to lock up your.
They had security overnight, which was amazing.
So you're not
I was
breaking
definitely
it
nervous
down,
about that. But the Tuscany overall was a great experience.
Cool.
And it was all the Tuscany security that were keeping eyes on everything overnight for us. So
that's
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Little wind PTSD the second weekend.
I mean, it's
broke everything down.
1 out of 9, Vegas odds, that's not bad.
I guess EDC just had really bad winds the other night too.
Yeah.
I saw some posts about it.
In the summer, it gets even crazier because I call it the oven wind. Like, have you been in a place? I mean, people have been to Vegas, no, but like, have you been in a place where it's 110 with 50-mile-an-hour sustained winds?
Oh
like,
God,
it's
I
the
haven't
craziest.
personally.
It's the craziest feeling.
But
the wind does not cool you down. It, like,
I mean, it
makes
is
you
a real
hotter.
thing. I think
Yeah.
Coachella had issues this
Yep.
year. I think they even, I don't know if they closed Stagecoach early, but I know Stagecoach was also affected.
Yeah.
So just that area of the country.
But like you got kind of took care of it
Susceptible.
early, and there was no more crazy wind. The rest, or a little bit of wind, or was it probably
The next weekend,
Yeah.
there was talk of high winds, and Saturday evening was kind of when it was kicking in, and I preemptively broke down my hole because I just didn't want to go through that again. I was like, I'd rather break it all down and be done.
I just got this kind of funny vision of
worry-free.
like lead mannequins, like 1,000-pound mannequins that like somehow you could wheel in with a forklift and like dress them up, and then if the wind comes, like they're not going anywhere. You just
That would be
see a little bit of tassel movement, but not like
really
the whole thing.
entertaining to watch at least.
Right?
Yeah. love the idea.
Awesome.
Yeah. Maybe some burners. Take
Right.
that
Oh
challenge
yeah,
on.
yeah. That is a big challenge for you there. Would you ever go there and do your work there? Burning
I
Man?
mean, I don't think you can sell things at Burning Man. I think it's
Oh.
all trade, so I
Got
don't know
it.
if that would be like the right fit for Dreambug, but
Right.
maybe like a pre-Burning Man
Right.
event where people need some fits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Because it would fit in there.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never been to Burning Man, so and I'm open to going if
Yeah.
it ever presents itself.
It'd be
down
cool
the-
to get
down the line.
some kind of Dreambug fundraiser together so you could give it away
Yeah, sure.
and then pay for your trip, and then you could show your brand that way or something like that.
I guess so.
I don't know how we'd do
I
that.
don't know
but
if I would choose to give it to burners. Maybe
Yeah.
like more people in need than
That's a good point.
burners.
That's
but
fair.
Yeah,
We don't have to.
if that ever happens.
We don't have to qualify what you just said, but
Yeah.
like no, Burning Man's original idea is cool. Let's say, right?
100%. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Got another one for you
Okay,
here.
great.
All right. When you picture Dreambug designs in 5 years from now, what feels most exciting? Would it be a bigger production, collaborations, more festivals, maybe like a brick and mortar storefront, wearable art shows, or maybe something totally unexpected?
Yeah, that's a really good question and one I think about a lot actually. Just like what does the future look like for Dreambug?
Yeah.
And I do think about a brick and mortar type of store sometimes. I'm certainly not ready for that at
Okay.
this point, nor am I in a rush for it.
Right.
But I love the events. And I used to work in music and events, and I loved that too. But the travel gets hard and it's tiring. So the idea of being a little more grounded is appealing to me. But yeah, TBD. I also love the idea of like wearable art and fashion shows. I'm mostly just excited to see where this keeps taking me on how it evolves, because really just in the last year to 2 years, I mean, the journey is, I keep saying it's like a dream I never knew I was dreaming, because I just had never imagined this for myself.
Yeah.
Which is like, I didn't grow up sewing. I didn't know how to sew when I started doing this. I'm all self-taught. I
Cool.
compare it a lot to yoga, where it's like the more you practice, the more you can achieve and the better you get. And
Yeah.
there's always more to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, the evolution, I'm just excited to see where it goes. So
I
right
love
now I'm just kind of,
evolutions. Yep.
as your band. Yes.
But no, it's an organic process that you've done, and nothing beats that.
Nothing
it's coming
beats
from
it.
the heart.
And it's cool where I can look back at like my first set or collection of jackets that I did for that first show, and I know a couple people that have those jackets, and just how much my sewing skills have improved, my designs have improved, and what I've been doing with the designs has changed and grown. So
Cool. Do you want to
Yeah.
show a couple of them now that we're talking about it?
Yeah, sure.
She's got some right behind her
I
there.
do have some right behind me.
Yep.
Well, since we talked so much about music, I'll start
Yeah.
with a
Okay.
Grateful Dead inspired one.
Cool.
Where do I put that? Like
Yeah,
that.
you can. Yep, that's perfect right there.
Okay.
See that side? Yeah.
So these steelies, and
Yeah.
this is one direction that Dreambug is starting to move in, is that I'm really keen on supporting, in particular, women-run businesses.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
work with a girl, Forever Lot, Coco, and she's an embroiderer. So I wholesale these patches from her. And I also
That's
work
amazing.
with a local interior designer, Lorraine Hopkins, and I rescue fabric samples
Cool.
from her that would otherwise wind up in the dumpster.
Yeah.
So this is all upcycled fabric. And she has beautiful taste.
It's amazing. I want to
in
kind
her. Yeah, this actually was part of the jacket. So
Okay.
this I did not add. Sometimes I just find jackets
Yep.
that are got cool stuff on them. But I did add all this, and then so I work with her. I'm starting to also work with another girl who does feather clips. I'm going to start adding her work into Dreambug markets.
Great.
So
the collaboration.
Yeah, so they look
Yeah.
great in your hair, but in particular, like the hat culture is so big out here, and she puts like crystals on them, and
Okay.
she's now doing like laser cut Grateful Dead and like other designs on with the feathers. So those will be featured in Dreambug this summer.
We'll keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's cool.
the fringe has been a staple.
Cool.
I think initially I thought every Dreambug piece had to have fringe, and I started doing like, the shooting stars.
So cool.
This one is a men's jacket, and this is me slowly starting to move away from like the idea that I have to have fringe on everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started doing menswear this year, and it's
Cool.
been like my new favorite thing
There's a
to
little
do.
natural fringe here anyway, right?
Little natural
Yeah, exactly.
wear and tear.
Yeah.
This is all upcycled denim from my dad's jeans, all the little hearts that I added. All this is his. And then, for men,
Yeah.
just a little fringe. I had
Cool.
real men wear fringe.
Heck yeah.
I had a guy buy one of my jackets when I was just in Vegas, and it had this music note with the fringe on it, and he was like, I don't know, and I was like, listen, I'll cut the fringe off if you want me to. He's like, I just love the jacket, but I don't know about the fringe, and I was like ready with the scissors, and he was like, wait, well, maybe I can get used to it. So we did not cut his fringe off.
Good.
He kept the fringe.
I agree with your statement.
Hold that up higher.
Fringe is cool.
Fringe is cool. Yeah.
Let's real quick before you go to the next one, because I want to see more of those.
Yeah.
Let's just say how we find you, because I'll put it up on the screen for sure.
Oh.
I saw that you have a site. Is it correct that it is the dreambugdesigns.net?
Dreambug, just www.dreambugdesigns.net.
Okay,
is
great.
my website.
And then also the Instagram handle?
And Instagram is, I think it's just Dreambug Designs.
I think so
Yeah,
as
with
well.
like an underscore
Awesome.
between
Cool.
Dreambug and Designs.
Great.
The jackets and the shorts will continue to remain the primary thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mhm.
Awesome. I just want to make sure
Yeah.
people know where to find you.
Yeah. And you can always reach out to me through a DM.
Okay.
Either of those.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see what you got next too. I'm excited about
those. So I guess we'll go this one. So in moving away from the fringe, I do a lot with the flowers.
Yeah.
This is the biggest kind of like flower, sunburst, I don't know. But this is all upcycled fabrics from Lorraine Hopkins from the interior designer in Edwards.
Okay.
These are, I save all my scraps. And I do send scraps to another designer who works with like smaller scraps than I do.
Okay.
Who's also really passionate about slow fashion and sustainability. So nothing really goes in the trash, which is really awesome.
Upcycling.
Yeah. So anything that I don't use or feel like I'm not going to use, I eventually send off. And same with, I get so much fabric from Lorraine. Anything that I feel like I won't use, I actually pass on to other designers as well. I just brought like 4 boxes with me to Vegas to give to someone.
Perfect.
Of fabric. So I'm really trying to keep all of this like out of the landfill as much as possible.
Right. It's a
so-
happy little scene there.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then this last one, really fun men's jacket, but I feel like everything is pretty gender neutral. This was a t-shirt that I had actually from one of the bartending festivals out here that I was bartending, and Montucky was our sponsor.
Oh, okay.
And I had to wear it for work.
Okay.
And just thought it would look really cool. These scraps were from actually a pair of like really cool shoes that I had that just had fallen apart.
A little retro 80s.
Yep.
Like,
So
glow
I'd
vibe.
saved the fabric off the shoes, and again, upcycled denim. more fabric scraps. You can see like sometimes I do get really small with
Cool.
keeping little pieces.
And like constellation feel too.
Yeah,
like,
and like
yeah.
I think this is paint on this one, paint splatters. I've worked with bleach a little bit, so yeah, trying to
very cool.
keep it mixing it up.
Yeah.
You know, not just music inspiration. You know, I really want there to be something for everyone out there.
There is.
Yeah,
And you've
that's
done
the
it.
goal.
It's amazing.
So
cool.
yeah.
How's Disco?
Disco's great. She just turned 12.
Okay.
And her gift was she got to be a lot dog for the first time, and she did great. She had a blast.
She's just relaxing and meeting people.
She loved it. She got all the pets. And
Aw.
yeah, it was really cute.
I was lucky enough in 2017 when you were visiting Portland and I was living in Portland for a minute, or we were both living in Portland for a minute. I got to dog sit.
Yeah,
Disco.
you were the number one dog sitter.
Yeah, I miss that. That's 9 years ago now.
That's so crazy.
It is so crazy, but
wild.
it was so.
Oregon stint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so inspired by everything you've been doing, and it's so cool
Thank
to
you.
see what's happening and the successes and the stories.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so nice to have you here.
I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Tell us a few things that are coming up this summer for you. Any events or any places people should to keep an eye out for you?
Yeah. So I'm still in the process of building up the summer calendar, but as of right now, I will be at a couple of Minturn markets. I have one in June and one in August. Hoping to get one on the books for July. It's my first time really trying farmers markets, and because I make everything one of a kind and by hand, I'm a little apprehensive to like stack something every week.
Sure.
If I have a big week, then I only have, the next 5 days or 6 days.
That's
to
wise
make
to keep that
for the next event. So spacing them out a little bit. I will be at a little festival in Buena Vista.
Yeah.
I think it's called Rhythms on the River, and that's in July, and it's at the beach.
Oh, cool.
Have
Yep.
you been to that?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
For some
I
of the
haven't
boating,
been to
some
it
of the
yet.
boating events are there.
I'm super excited to check it out.
It's fun. Yeah.
I will also be at the Eagle River Jamboree.
Okay.
The new festival in Eagle.
Great.
So that I'm looking forward to. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then I've got a few others that I'm just waiting on confirmation for. So,
Great.
but I keep it all updated, in particular on my Instagram.
Awesome.
I'll probably get a events page built on my website in the near future, but it's not there yet. So
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll take a look for that content and take a look for those
Yeah.
events.
yeah.
And anything else coming up or any other messages for the world that you want to tell people or tell them what you're doing?
I would just say, never stop believing in what is possible, because you never know what direction life will take you in, and keep looking for the light, because in the strangest of places you'll find it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's thank you so much.
Yeah.
I take that to heart too.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening, and it's great to have the creative outlet and see people succeeding in that realm.
100%.
I love it.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Thriving at Altitude. We'll see you next week. If you have any questions about any of our guests or want to be part of the show, please email me at davedonahue@kw.com. Feel free to reach out.